All right, you may unmute, ma'am.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. All right, so what I'd like you to do is, well, you don't want to give your name, so at this point, just go ahead and you can give us an impact statement. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Michael Noak. This is the first time I have spoken publicly about what you've done to my daughter and I. I have gracefully remained silent the last 2.5 years. 2.5 years of pain, shock, disbelief, PTSD, constant nightmares, and daily triggers. Trying to help my daughter heal when I'm not even healed myself. What you have done to my daughter, myself, and my entire family is inexcusable. You hurt us all. You made me believe that you were such a great man and you could do no wrong. You made me fully trust you, and for that my daughter trusted you too. But the truth is, you're a monster, a demon. The very first time that I allowed you to be alone with my daughter, the very first time, and you couldn't even help yourself. You told me you was gonna be right back. You were going downstairs. You were gonna grab food and take vacation pictures. You told me that you wanted to have a one-on-one talk with her about loving and respecting me as a great mother that I was and am. And I actually believed you. I believed that you were going to bring her right back. I thought you were going to have this trusting conversation with her that you promised me. Her and I both trusted you. For a grown man to violate a child who trusted him, you should be ashamed of yourself. You plotted on me and my little girl. The entire time you knew what you planned to do. Isolate, intoxicate, then violate my baby. Shame on you. I trusted you to bring her right back. You were supposed to bring her back the same way that you took her. Instead, you drugged her and took advantage of her. And you sexually abused her. You forced alcohol down her throat. You then forced her to see things that no child should ever have to see. You forced her to feel things that no child should have to feel. You forced her to accept violence that no child should ever have to endure. You forced drugs in her that no human should ever even ingest. She's my child. My baby. How could you? How could you? You could have killed her with all the drugs that were found in her system. And you thought your master plan was mapped out perfectly, huh? You thought I'd be dumb enough to believe you over my child. And you thought that money would blind me. You thought I was going to be so blinded that I wouldn't notice when you returned her with bruises all over her body and her mouth busted, uncontrollably shaking. Absolutely not. And although you executed your plan and you got what you wanted those couple of hours, you actually failed. Because look where you're at right now. You have created a lifetime of trauma for my daughter and I. Before you, we never knew evil existed. You brought so much evil into our lives that early morning, and I'll never forget. I called you like 50 times and you wouldn't answer me. And I called her too, but you took her phone. You drugged my baby and you gave her no way to seek help. You left me no way to contact her or even know where she was. I get physically sick now whenever I'm away from my daughter because of you. Something as simple as her going to school, I'm in panic mode. Because I'm scared when she comes back, she's going to be hurt all over again. I constantly have flashbacks of that night. And what she lives with is not okay. She feels uncomfortable around people and will live with this forever, and this is not fair to her. She never deserved this. Shame on you for forcing evil on our youth. And you know, for a year, I questioned, how could you even do this to us? Her and I did nothing wrong to you. We trusted you. I moved across the country because I believed everything that you told me. But it was pure manipulation I see now. All you do is specialize in selling false dreams. How could you do this to an innocent child and mother who simply trusted you? We did nothing wrong. But you know what? I'm done breaking my head trying to question or figure out how you could do such a thing. It's so simple to me now. You're just a sick man. A man you can have a plethora of women, but you secretly prefer to have a child. And it's so clear now. I will never be able to fully trust another person due to the betrayal that you've shown me. And for that, I was not willing to trust 6 strangers and go to trial. Nor was I going to put my daughter through an additional trauma. This plea was in our best interest. You and I both know the evidence is extremely substantial. But even with that, I refuse to have my child be tormented when she's done nothing wrong. All she holds is the truth. And I will say this, although you were so worried about being labeled a sex offender, you did us a huge favor by admitting to guilt, period. So for that, I thank you. I truly thank you. Yes, mitigation took place and I allowed it as long as it meant you going to prison and you getting true help. Because true help means no more victims. The fact that your only non-negotiable was to accept a sex crime shows exactly the type of man that you are. You know what you did in that hotel room. I know what you did, and my daughter knows what you did. DNA doesn't lie. There's no reason why your DNA should have been found on my baby. And yes, I satisfied your bogus request to not be labeled a sex offender, but it doesn't take away from who you truly are. I wasn't going to waste any time going back and forth with you over a label. God will judge you for exactly the person He knows you to be, a sexual predator. So rest assured, jail time equals jail time. And I pray that during your 10 years of sex offender probation, you actually receive the treatment that you need and it helps heal your sick mind and get the thoughts of being with children out of it. All you care about is your pretend image. But I know exactly who you are now. You want to be this public figure, but you want to do all your evil acts in secret. You're so self-centered. That's why the last time I saw you on February 27, 2021, you fought me. You tried to hold me hostage from taking my daughter to the hospital. I'll never forget that cowardly look in your eyes. I'll never forget it. You were so scared. You were so scared because you realized you messed with the wrong one. Your last words to me, you held me and said, please don't go. You're going to ruin my career. Well, today, September 6th, 2023, my last words to you are, I hope the next 17 years of your life, you're reminded of the disgusting, terrifying, unforgettable acts that you've done to my innocent daughter. Shame on you. And although you've caused a tremendous amount of trauma for myself and my daughter, we will and will always be superior of you because a successful, honest career is something that you could never, ever have. We will both continue to stand against violence. My daughter will continue to persevere and be bright and intelligent and courageous young woman that she is. So Michael Noak, I hope you enjoy prison and God bless you.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your courage for speaking. It is heartbreaking, and my heart goes out to you and your daughter. All right. The defendant will be remanded to the Department of Corrections.
Yeah, it's time for us to go hard. Yeah, it's time to expose the frauds. What? It's time for us to go hard. Yeah, it's time to expose the frauds. Yeah, it's time for us to go hard. First of all, let me welcome y'all to Moore's World TV. Come on, it's time to go. Ain't nobody gonna deceive me. Deceive who? Deceive you. Never on my watch. Time to go pull out the pot, turn up the heat, let's make it hot. Don't be tripping on them frauds when you're rolling with the guard. Made Crip, Sonny, Boxing, Apple X, and Sean, Yasmin and the Queen got Sean from the Shy, Candy Chamber, Ishmael Bay, and Sensuna. Anybody they can get it if they gripping on the fam. Moore's World TV, investigating all scams. Gon' check my record and please don't front. Come on, keep it a buck. I ain't been wrong once. From Saneter and Polight and Tatar Tariq Bey, Malik, Zulu, Shabazz, and Grandmaster J. Word to God to all the frauds. I brought them to their knees, but they ain't nothing. Watch how I do to Tariq Allah Nasheed. Welcome to another edition of HEARTWRENCHING TV. I'm your host, Brother Taharka Bey. Let's get on these frauds' neck and let's shut them down. Let's go. Hit that like.
Check 1 2 family. Press 7 if you can hear me. Press 7 if you can hear me.
We gon' shut it down.
Make sure y'all can hear me right. Make sure y'all can hear me right, family. This is gonna be a night to remember. Sad to say about the occasion, but there's definitely going to be a night to remember. I'm kind of in my emotions tonight, family. I'm kind of in my emotions tonight because this is a day where, you know, when you hear the intro song and I say, I ain't been wrong yet. And I mean that. I ain't been wrong yet. And what I'm telling you is that these people are a network. They know what each other are doing even before it's done. Because they did it before it caught on the screen. In other words, they know what each other is doing before the public knows, because in private, this is what they do. See, listen, family. I know y'all mad. Because I be calling out these people that has made some impact in your life. But whether it's Tariq and his questionable relationship with the one he ultimately married as being underage, whether it's Polight or Saneter faking like he's calling out Polight and then withdraw it back, and then we research and we find the evidence that this is not the first rodeo for this guy doing this nasty stuff to children. This is not the first time. See, I know you get upset when I call out Tariq Nasheed because he had an impact on your life when you didn't know no better and Hidden Colors came out. But let me tell you something. This is all the same group of people. Whether you like it or not, these are all the same group of people. They don't have your best interests at heart. They want to get in your pocketbook, get in your wallet, get in your bank account, and then use their notoriety to take advantage of people, little girls, women, guys, or whoever is willing to submit to their nasty ideals. So tonight, family, we going all the way in. I'm telling you, whether it's Polight. Do y'all remember that the subscribers and supporters of Tariq Nasheed, after Polight was accused of scamming people, they said, Tariq, do not put Polight in Hidden Colors 5. Tariq told them until they donate to get the movie produced, Polight is going in it regardless. Do y'all remember? Press 7 if y'all remember. Press 7 if y'all remember that. This shows you that these are gatekeepers for the most nastiest people that you can ever imagine. These are the gatekeepers. And I don't care if these people have affected change in your life. Look, all of the calling out of these Europeans, all of calling out the white supremacy. Let's see how many people are going to do a video on Polight. Let's see if Tariq Nasheed is going to do a video. He's going to do one now because I'm saying his name. How many people? Is Floyd Mayweather going to speak out? And let me tell you something. Hey, mods, if somebody condemned the lady whose child was taken advantage of, just go ahead and block them. I've already put a few in timeout. You understand what I'm saying? Because somebody said in the chat that I think the mother was in cahoots, or I think the mother had a part. Just go ahead and block them. Because these are some sick people too. When people don't understand, family, listen. This is why I go so hard. This is why. This is supposed to be the conscious community. You understand? In other words, this is supposed to be a space on the internet where people around the country that may not have access to the cultural comings and goings of urban inner city or places that has an abundance of ideas, knowledge, ideals, and culture. So the internet has provided a place where people can come and get information. However, much of the information is cookie cut to take advantage of people. It's cookie cut like Reverend Chickenfoot would do just to get a Cadillac. But today, they trying to get into people's underwear. They're trying to get into people's bank accounts. And they're trying to walk away with more than what they put out. In other words, they're not putting out any information that edifies or brings people to a higher plateau in life. But they give them just enough truth mixed with falsehood to take advantage of them. But these people are sincerely seeking to find themselves. They sincerely seeking. That mother did not go there to get with Polight to, I don't care what you say. I know some of y'all are super smart. I know some of y'all are super evolved and intelligent. But some people are seeking to advance in life, whether it be economically, whether it be spiritually, whether it be emotionally, and these predators know it. Listen, Tariq Nasheed is a predator of identity right now. So he's using FBA as a emotional heartstring to draw people in. But tonight we're not talking about Tariq Nasheed. But he uses the same tactic. It's the same old soup warmed over. Tariq is using identity. Polight is using money, flashy money. Saneter is using knowledge. Do y'all press 7 if you understand what I'm saying? These people are using the same tactics. They're using the same tactics, but it's just a different product that they're using to draw people in. It's the same tactics. This is what people have to understand. Knowledge can be used to draw people in to take advantage of them. Identity can be used. This is why when I came into this thing they called the conscious community or whatever, I came to defend the ideal of the Moorish Science Temple of America, because even idiotic, crazy Moors was using the term black as a weaponized term that they would throw at people. You not black. You can't be black. How can you be black? But then when they go home to their wife says she black. Their mother says she black. There is no doctrine in the Moorish Science Temple of America that demonized the term black in no way, shape, or form. There is an understanding that it's not a nationality, but that's where it starts, that's where it ends. But it doesn't demonize nobody. But the Moors was weaponizing that. And then people like Saneter would take that and use it as a crutch to raise himself up as if he had some sort of knowledge. Just goofy. And so even identity can be weaponized. And that's what Tariq is doing. But this Polight guy, family, I tell a story all the time that there was a time when I thought Polight was a legitimate person. When he first came to 125th and he was talking this jibber jabber, I'm like, wow, God, dude got some serious stuff going on. I think dude's all right. But after deeper listening, I was like, I don't know. And then after I met Polight and after Saneter and them tried to get me in a debate with Polight, I found out that it was a horse and pony show. And then the straw that broke the camel's back is when Polight came to Baltimore, did a lecture, and took somebody money, and he almost got his life taken for that act. Whatever the case may be. Since that time in 2016, I have tried to warn people. Since that time in 2016, I have tried, I think it was 2016, 2017, whatever it was. I have been doing videos concerning Brother Polight, his indiscretions, as well as his grifts. For some reason, people like Saneter has always held Polight up. They make up and break up like a codependent, toxic relationship marriage. And Saneter is no different than Polight as it relates to the mentality. Remember this, family. Always remember this. Always remember this. If one would aid and abet a person who commit acts like this, in their mind, they don't see nothing wrong with it. And surely Saneter aided and abetted. He gave him the platform after he knew what he was about. You understand what I'm saying? After he knew what he was about, he gave him a platform. Uma York, I was calling you today, sis. I'm calling you tonight. He gave him a platform. Family, listen to me. Listen to me. Saneter is not off the hook. He should be researched. The people should go to Saneter almost immediately. They should go to Saneter and see.
It's not yours, Polight. You talking to somebody who knows you, nigga. And believe me, I got data on you. But see, what you say about me, it's all.
Them people need to go and confiscate and find out what that data is. They need to go and find out what that data is. See, if we had a real conscious community, the men in black would dress up and confiscate that and find out what that data is. See, this is why this conscious community and all of these communities that represent the upheaval of our people is a fraud. All of them got an issue. Because anybody that will go on this platform, I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. Anybody that will go on this platform after this guy admitted that he got this stuff and he knew it and he continued to bring them back. He continued to promote them. He continued as recently as a few weeks ago. He continued to say that he is not going to accuse or admit that Polight did nothing until the European judge says something. However, the European police and the European investigators found DNA on the baby girl. And Polight was partying, he was dancing, and he was having fun. He was popping bottles, he was slapping booties around. And Saneter kept his platform going. And nobody, except for Garfield and those associated with Dagger Squad, held him accountable. And this is the sad part. Everybody heard Saneter say this, but everybody want the spotlight. Everybody want to be in the know so they can sell something after the show. Everybody. But right here,
not yours, Polight. You talking to somebody who knows you, nigga. And believe me, I got data on you. But see, what you say about me, it's all good. I don't give a fuck about that. But the shit I got on you is real shit.
You see what I'm talking about? See, this is the stuff that need to be addressed. See, when we talk about consciousness and people start pulling out all of these books and start talking about Meduneta, people start talking about all of this stuff, but they're not conscious about the dirt that's being done around them. This is what HEARTWRENCHING TV take care of. Y'all hear me? Press 7 if you hear me. When we're talking about conscious, let me say it one more time because we're going all the way in a few minutes. I'm trying to give everybody a chance to get in and get the thumbs up on this so it can get spread. Family, when we talk about consciousness, right? We're not just talking about being able to read the Bible and decipher the Bible. We're not being able to read the Quran and decipher the Quran. Being able to read Meduneta, being able to read Hebrew. But what about reading this pedophile next to you? What about reading this scammer next to you? What about reading this manipulator next to you? Because those people that you read about in the Bible, my Hebrew brother, they was reading the scammer and they was giving them the business. But that ain't what y'all want to do, though. I hope you do. And if this ain't you, then don't let the shoe fit. But if it is you, make the correction. You read the Quran. And you see all the opposition that Muhammad was up against, calling people out by name, going at them with the sword. But y'all want to reminisce about yesterday. Y'all want to reminisce about yesterday. Y'all want to romanticize about yesterday because you're nothing but Romans in the mind. So you love to romanticize yesterday because you're Roman minds. See, our ancestors check this stuff. See, I'm one man, so I can only do it with the tools that I have on hand, and that's social media, internet, research, show and prove, and receipts. And I'm about to bring it to you tonight. But in a nutshell, all of this fake conscious stuff, and they not even conscious about the people around them. I give a big up to Red Pill and Blue Pill for the effort that they made in calling him out about 4 or 5 years ago. But very few people took a hardline stance on this character named Polight. And Saneter, oh, how the mighty have fallen. Saneter is nothing but a junkie opportunist. His mentality is junkie driven. He's hoping that they can live the glory days when they filled up the Alhambra ballroom with 500 to 2,000 people. He hoping he can live the glory days where Polight could run around the lecture with his half-dressed women and the ticket sales go up. He really believed that Polight, he's like a junkie. He's like a crackhead. You know how the crackhead think that he is going to get the same high that it got the first time and the D-boy just loving it? That's how he feels about Polight. He feels that Polight was going to recover and he was going to come back to NYC and they was going to go and get the proverbial crack, the attention and the dollar. He's nothing but a crackhead in mentality. That's why he can't let Polight go. He's a part of the same scam. You follow me? There's nothing conscious about him. Nothing conscious about him. Let's listen.
Calm down, Saul. Yeah, let me calm down. You're right. I know the nigga looking. I know that nigga watching. I'm not even giving you that smoke yet. I'm holding back a lot of shit. So you go on to say that Saneter talked about your kids. Who are you talking about? Huh? You ain't talking about Tasha, right? You ain't talking about her, right? You ain't talking about Tasha Barnes, right? I know you ain't talking about her. I knew her before you, Polight. You ain't talking about her, right? The one you call Renentet, you ain't calling her your daughter, are you? Don't do it. Don't make me fucking do it, nigga. Huh? Little Dr. York, don't make me do it, nigga. Little fucking Dr. York. You ain't talking about her, right? The one that you call Renentet. Huh? Nigga, that ain't your daughter, nigga. Cut it out. Don't make me bring her sister right here in front of me. Her sister is my wife cousin, nigga. You know that. Play yourself. You know that. Play your motherfucking self. Huh? She ran away from home to be with your bitch ass. She left her own mother to be with your bitch ass. Nigga, fuck you talking about? Why you think her mother and them can't even find her? You wanna play with me, nigga? I told you it'd be better for you to fuck with Cab Gills and bang back at Pharaoh, nigga. Leave me the fuck alone. You can talk whatever the talk you wanna talk about me, but I ain't never do no foul shit like you, nigga. Never rob nobody, bitch. Fuck is you talking about? Huh? I know you ain't talking about that girl, huh? The one that ran away from home? Who snuck out the room and left her mother? Because her mother left you? You want me to tell the people why she left you, bitch? I'll tell them when you cut back. I'll tell them when you come back at me. I ain't gonna give up everything. Told you it'd be better fuck alone. You fucking with the wrong one, and you know I'm crazy enough to go the fuck in.
And we know, and anybody that says that Saneter has nothing to do with Polight, he does. In classic terms, this is called aiding and abetting in the streets, that if you are rolling with someone that has committed something against someone else, then you all got to go. Ain't that how it go? Ain't that how it go? If you had conspired with someone, we're talking about concealing, we're talking about manipulating people, we're talking about being a conspirator of something that you knew was happening, you are just as evenly responsible. So all of this stuff that, because let me tell you something. Every time when one that has influence, whether it be myself, whether it be Saneter, one has influence and they tell those who they have influence over, I don't believe that. I'm not ready to accept that and to the judge accept that. By default, you're planting seeds for others to have doubt. And now the trauma goes on for the family, because now the family becomes victimized by those with these opinions that are fed from your opinion. It would be best just to shut up. It would be best just to shut up. But with that being said, family, now we heard, and we about to break it all the way down. We're about to break it all the way down. But first, fam, we got to get to the nitty gritty real quick, where Saneter says that he is not getting in the middle of it until Polight goes to court. When in fact, Polight police report talks about the DNA. Let's get into that real quick, and then we're going to get into the court. Now, we know that Saneter seen it because he did a video on me when I had the downloads for anybody that wanted it. And I said, anybody want to donate to the channel? $10 donate, man, pass it around. One person get it, pass it around. You know, he's selling Polight paperwork. Be quiet. This research, and even to bother, even to get the authenticated paperwork, is not free. So be quiet. Anyway, he's seen the paperwork and still was in denial. Who's over there collaborating with this guy? Who's over there collaborating with this guy? Call him out. Call him out. Let's go here real quick. Let's go here. You got to listen to this carefully. Do you understand what I'm saying? Listen to this carefully before we get to where we need to go. Listen to this. This is it right here. All right. Now, let me trim it down a little bit. Let me just trim it a little bit so we can do what we got to do. But family, you are going to look at this. You're going to look at this whole case a different way in a minute. And then we're going to go over what the judge said momentarily. All right? We're going to go over what the judge said momentarily. Now, let's get it. 1 second. Let me pull myself up a little bit. Let me pull myself up just a little bit. All right. Now, here we go. Defendant Noak, 37 years of age, and victim's mother, 31, were dating over a year on 2/27/2021. At approximately 00 hours, defendant Noak requested to allow him to take the victim, TS, 14 years of age, to an after party in order for him to speak to her and mend the relationship between mother and daughter. Now, in the paperwork in the court case today, we find that there was no after party. He must have made this statement because according to the paperwork today, he took her to a room and the mother admitted that. that he was going to talk to her concerning their relationship. And the mother admitted that. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, let me get this out of the way. With that being said, it goes on to say, what happened? Hold on one second. Something just happened. What happened there? My bad. Hold on. I don't know what just happened. They don't want y'all to see it. There it is. Provided victim TS with numerous alcoholic beverages. Remember, she's 14 years old. And which she consumed. Victim TS stated that defendant Noak started dancing and touching her. This is the 14-year-old that Saneter said he want to see what the judge says first. Started touching her inappropriately all over her body, groping her breasts and her thighs and buttocks area. Remember once again that this animal, Saneter, said that he wanted to hear it from the judge first. Let's not forget that. I want you to always keep that in your mind, that this animal said that he wanted to hear it from the judge first. All right? That's what he needed to hear from the judge first. But the 14-year-old, the same man that has a daughter, the same man, Saneter, that has a daughter, he said he needed to hear it from the judge first. That's what he said. This is how crazy these people are. You understand what I'm saying? This is how crazy they are. It goes on to say, furthermore, victim TS stated that defendant Noak set her on the bed as he pulled out his penis up and outside of his shorts and underwear while he grabbed her head and pushed it towards her genital area. Again, remember, Saneter said he got to hear what the judge says first, not the 14-year-old child that was drugged, poured alcohol down her throat, and taken advantage of in the most extreme way possible. Victim TS lost consciousness and later awoke while the defendant Noak was forcibly trying to make her throw up while pushing his fingers in her mouth and down her throat. The mother said that she came back with bruises. Defendant Noak then took the victim TS to her mother's hotel, Fontainebleau, Miami Beach, where Miss Moms noticed that victim TS was severely intoxicated and possibly under the influence of an unknown drug. And victim TS had severe swelling on the victim's mouth lip area. Now you got to remember that the mother just said that she didn't want to go through all this because she wanted the conviction and she didn't trust these jurors. So, okay, she accepted the plea. But the beautiful thing about the courage that came with this sister whose daughter was treated so horribly. The beautiful thing is that she was able to articulate it and describe it and paint a picture that shows this monster in living color. So she talked about the bruises. She said her daughter had drugs in her system that no human being should have ingested. In other words, toxicology reports would have gave him 100 years in prison for the drugging, for the alcohol. And that's before you even get to the other stuff. Anybody that comes at the mother, please just block them and delete them. We don't want that type of following on Morse World TV. The mother was very courageous to come forth and give a victim's impact statement. And Polight attorney was trying to make sure that those that was in the courtroom would not hear her impact statement. She articulated it beautifully. It was like we didn't even need a trial. We didn't need a trial to really grasp what she had been through. I was holding my baby daughter this morning listening to it on Dagger Squad, Garfield, and I just couldn't imagine me having to deal with something like that with any woman in my family, or even any woman that I'm associated with. How do you deal with something like that? So anybody that says anything crazy about the mother, please just block them. We don't need that. Just block them. Just get them out of here. It's not even important. Just get them out of here. Let's go. So it goes on to say, defendant Noak took the victim to the mother hotel. Defendant told mother not to call police because if she did, she would ruin his career. Against his wishes, Mrs. transported victim TS to Mount Sinai, where she disclosed sexual battery. And that shows you that the mother did not hesitate. And you got to remember that these swindlers, that these soothsayers, they talk real good. How do you think that somebody can swindle people out of $1 million for a museum and get a storefront and turn it into a club and still claim it's a museum? They talk good. How do you think someone can go on a lot with containers and claim that these containers are going to be apartments or condominiums that they are building and it's not even theirs? They talk good. See, these people are trained by them people. They know how to tug on people's emotions. They know how. You understand? They know when to hold, when to pull, they know all the signs of how to take advantage of people. But anyway, it says defendant Noak told her don't call the police because if you do, you're going to ruin his career. What career was he talking about? What career? Polight doesn't have a career. And she called it right. She called it right. She said the only career that you have is basically getting over people, getting over on people. She said results from Miami-Dade forensic. Hold up, let me go back. She went to the rape treatment center where all her clothing was collected and a rape kit was performed and collected. Said evidence was transported to Miami-Dade County Forensic Lab where it was analyzed. Results from Miami-Dade Forensic Labs were received where it was confirmed that victim TS had a total of 6 semen confirmatory stains on her shirt and scarf. But Saneter says that he have to hear the judge put the gavel to the table. But he's Black Power. A DNA warrant was obtained and served to the defendant Noak, and DNA sample swab was transported to Miami-Dade Forensic Lab for analysis. The Miami-Dade forensic report was received where it confirmed the semen found on victim TS's clothing matched that of defendant Noak. Why do Saneter have to hear the European gavel hit the desk of a courthouse? And some fools are still saying, no, you can't hold that to Saneter. Yes, you can. He's an influencer. You know what that mean? That mean he influences people. You follow me? That's what that means. And not only does he influence people, he already knew. You understand? See, he spoke about an old case. You follow me? Hold on. He already knew. 1 second. He spoke about an old case. You follow me? And this old case that he's speaking about is this case right here. Michael Noak Jr. right here, where he represented himself in his sovereign capacity. You know what I mean? He already knew. He said, do you want to talk about it? See, he already knew. He already knew. 1 second. Wrong one. See, he already knew. Saneter already knew about these cases. You follow me? He already knew. Whereas on February 7, 2014, I received a telephone call from LaVon Jenkins, who identified herself as ACS workers in Queen's office, whereas LaVon Jenkins indicated in custody that the custody of my 2-month-old child, Nusset Adewude, you know who that is? December 16, 2013 might be in jeopardy of forced removal by your agency for reasons that remain a mystery. Now, therefore, this 7-day notice and demand is Saneter already knew about this. This is what Saneter was speaking of when he said he know. This is what he know. I did the research and figured out what he was talking about. Saneter knew. Saneter knew about this stuff. You know what I mean? What are you talking about? He got on him. He already knew. You follow me? He already knew. So when these people already know and do videos like this,
it's not yours, Polight. You talking to somebody who knows you, nigga. And believe me, I got data on you. But see, what you say about me is all good. I don't give a fuck about that. But the shit I got on you is real shit.
You see what I'm talking about? So what he's talking about is the child and family. Tomorrow night, we're going to have, what he's talking about is this child right here that ultimately ran away to be with Polight. Right here. That ultimately ran away. And see, what's going to happen is, I hope that she has the courage to come forth soon. I hope this woman here, 1 second. I hope that this woman here, you know, because some of these things don't have statute of limitation on it, because this is not his first rodeo. Trust me, he's been getting away with this for quite some time. But I say that all to say, I hope that this woman here would come forth too. I hope she come forth too, because this was a mystery too. I hope she comes forth too. This is not his first rodeo. He's been getting away with this. And he has people like Saneter that knows and been aiding and abetting him. That's right. I hope Victoria comes forward. I hope all the victims that has been hiding and scared to come out, come forth. Because he doesn't need to be out in the free world ever again. He doesn't need to be out in the free world. Supreme said that lady is a scammer. Well, Polight has a way with bringing those under his umbrella to do his bidding for him. We already know that. See, we need to know. See, this is Miss Woody on the right-hand side. See, she need to come forth. She need to come forth and tell the story about her daughter. You hear what I say? She need to come forth. She need to come forth and tell her story. You see, what's need to happen is, we're going to get in the case in a minute. See, what need to happen is, they all need to tell their story. And so things like the story about how Amanette is an intricate part in bringing these people in can be revealed also. We need to know how the whole network works. We need to know how it all works. You understand what I'm saying? We need to know how it all works and clean it all up. You know, see, this is the problem. Everybody want to give somebody a pass. But see, you can't give these people a pass. And here's why. We clearly watched these sisters come from looking like they just came off of the transfer ship from an indigenous community in Africa to eating right. Breast implants, butt implants, straight yacky hair. Like, we watched this happen. Like this is not a mystery no more. We watched it happen. You know what I'm saying? So we know that these people, whether it's Arminette or whomever, they're all eating off the scam. They're all eating off drawing these women in. And then when it gets deep down, it's got to be investigated. Who are these women? Dude, what's going on in Hollywood? What's going on in you know what I mean? Who are these women? Who are these women? What they doing? What they doing? See, this is a whole ring here that need to be broken up. What they doing? What they doing? Huh? Tell me what they doing. Huh? See, this supposed to open a whole can of worms. We supposed to open a whole can of worms and call it out. What's going on, fam? What's going on? See, they don't want to talk about this. This is called consciousness here. This is called consciousness here. What's going on right here? Are these women attracted to this Nigerian scammer? Or is this Nigerian scammer scamming them too? By utilizing their assets for his benefit, drawn in by Arminette. This is just a theory. This is just a theory. But whatever the case may be, my theory got to be okay. And some of these stars, absolutely. I love me some King Los, but King Los need to come clean. He need to make a statement too. King Los, you need to make a statement too. There you go. You need to make a statement too, King Los. Real kings do not shield themselves for the sake of reputation and fame. King Los, you got to make a statement. All of these people that have supported this madness by being friends, shaking hands, dapping up, need to make a statement. That's just what it is. At this stage of the game, a child have been taken advantage of. And if you have some type of stardom, you have some type of influence, then what you do is you aid and abet if you don't call it out. It is what it is. You aid and abet because you influence your audience to be influenced by your company. You're just there by default. And your influence becomes influential to that person, and who they attract is connected to you. So everybody got to be making some sort of statement. You follow what I'm saying? Everybody got to be making some sort of statement. Now, with that being said, making these videos like this, everybody got to make a statement. Who are these people? Who are these people? Dancing on IG videos in these lofty homes. That's right. Busta Rhyme got to make a statement. Yeah, we need to play Busta Rhyme. We're going to cover this all week. We got Bashir on the show tomorrow night. We got a couple people formerly that used to be on HOK coming on the show tomorrow night. And we're going to go behind the scenes of HOK tomorrow night. +7 if you hear me. +7 if you hear me. We're going behind the scenes of HOK tomorrow night. Y'all want to go behind the scenes? Y'all want to go to the conversations on the sidewalk of 125th? Well, that's what we're doing tomorrow night. Because the conversation that you see on the screen is not the same conversation that be going on the sidewalk. And we got our brother Bashir going to be in here, who they try to play, manipulate the tapes and the videos, and oh yeah, we bringing Bashir up in here. We gonna get a couple more. I ain't gonna name everybody, but yeah, tomorrow night, family, tomorrow night. I wanted to do it tonight, but I got a lot to cover. Now listen to this. Let's take our time and let's go over what the judge says. Let's go.
You had brought this to my attention.
What's brought to your system attention?
When?
between the last hearing and this hearing?
Well, it is unfeasible right now.
I asked if the state assistant state attorney can make an attempt to call them and have them here by phone. Because if your Honor's going to be speaking, and there's all of these individuals who are going to be here able to, they're not going to be able to talk about it, the live stream, and that's not what we're intending.
Folks, you're raising issues that the court.
This guy attorney is trying to get the courtroom cleared so nobody can hear testimony from the victim or the details of the charges. This is how crazy this is. But anyway, let's listen to what the judge has to say.
Not aware of. I have a jury sitting outside waiting to come in. If you wish to reset this matter, this courtroom is always open. Zoom is a convenience, but as of right now, we do have those who are attending. I'm not going to just delete everybody from the proceedings. I honestly don't even know how to do it and just leave somebody able to hear it.
It's being streamed right now live on YouTube.
Okay, well, if it's being streamed, it's being streamed. There's nothing I can do about that. But if the state and the defense wish to reset this for another date, this physical courtroom will be open to whomever wishes to attend.
Your Honor, I believe that it's an open courtroom, but Zoom is not required.
I understand that, but I don't know how to go ahead and take out everybody.
Polight literally tried to get the judge, to get his attorney, to get everyone moved out of the courtroom so we would not hear the details. Did y'all hear this? Pay close attention to this guy. This guy even swindled all the way down to being sentenced. The night before, he did a video and said that he was not guilty, that he was partying the night before for court. This is a sick man. Listen.
For one individual. They're already here. You're bringing this to my...
There were some Hebrew brothers in the courtroom that I don't know if they want to be named. I got to check and see if they did a video, but I might even interview them if they're willing to come on HEARTWRENCHING TV. And that's who they was trying to get out of the courtroom. That's right. Like True Religion, True Hebrews was up in there. And I know who they were, but I'm not going to mention their name because I don't know if they spoke on it yet. And if they have, then with that being said, maybe we can catch them for an interview so we can get a bird's eye view of exactly what took place and get a picture painted of how this predator was looking as it was happening.
Now, I'm giving the opportunity. If you want to reset this for tomorrow, we can do that.
Your Honor,
I have a jury trial that is sitting outside the door.
the concession the state made regarding crossing out that last line, the last term, was with the understanding that this would happen today because of the victim being out of school, the people being out of work. If this gets reset, we're not willing to amend that term.
In other words, they said that if they have to change the date, they not accepting no plea.
We have the victim and her mother be put into a breakout room with the court so that only they are allowed to hear the proceedings.
Quite frankly, I can put someone in a breakout room, but then they're now prevented from hearing what goes on in this courtroom. We're not in a breakout room. You're putting me in a very difficult position.
Can the state attempt to call them?
We would ask that the proceeding proceed. We've confirmed that there will be no interruptions by muting everyone who is not needed to be heard during this procession. Courtrooms are open, and that's the nature of the courtrooms.
Then we're going to go forward.
So this guy is such a swindler. This guy is such a scammer. This guy is such a charlatan that he's trying to pull his same slick scheme and plot on the judge, prosecutor, and everyone in the courtroom. Let's go.
That's all I can tell you. We're going to go forward. All right. So I have a 4-page plea agreement that was signed by the counsel and the defendants. It was signed on today's date. And on page 1, there is a line on paragraph 5. I cannot read what the handwriting says, so maybe somebody can assist.
Your Honor, the state has crossed out one line of paragraph 5 and has written on the side, this crossed out line does not apply, and then initialed and dated.
Line does not apply. Okay, and that's your initials there?
Correct, Judge.
Okay.
Your Honor, before you proceed with the plea, we do have an amended information that we're filing right now.
Okay.
The state, in case F21-14438, is filing an amended information for purposes of the plea and in contemplation of resolving the case of 2 counts of child abuse, aggravated, great bodily harm, or torture.
Y'all hear that? Child abuse. Hold up.
Child abuse, aggravated, great bodily harm, or torture, felonies in the 1st degree, 1 count of contributing to delinquency of a dependent or dependency of a child, a misdemeanor in the 1st degree.
All right. So please.
See, at this point, he can't deny this. This is on the record and for the record. There's no way he'll try 7 years later, but at that time, things have changed so much, he won't be able to swim in this pool of sharks that the social media pool will turn into.
Rain on the new information? Enter plea of guilty. No, on the new, the range on the new information. You're entering a not guilty plea at this point? At this point. Okay, and setting it for jury trial, all discovery to be provided. And are we ready to proceed? Yes, sir. Okay, I can have the defendant sworn.
Sure, Judge. Raise your right hand. Go there. Do you swear under the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Okay, I'll need the old information. I want the defendant to be aware of what he was originally facing and what the new information. This is the new information.
Family, listen close. Listen closely. This is serious. Listen closely.
I didn't give it to you. Oh, I have one back here.
All right. Okay, can you tell me your full name and date of birth?
Michael Eugene Noak Jr., August 10th, 1983.
All right, thank you. You were originally charged under case number F21-14438 with the following charges: lewd and lascivious molestation on a child, a second-degree felony, punishable by up to 15 years state prison. Count 2 was lewd and lascivious molestation on a child, 12 to 16 years, a second-degree felony, punishable by up to 15 years state prison. Lewd and lascivious conduct on a child under 16 by a defendant 18 or over, a second-degree felony, punishable by up to 15 years state prison. Count 4, lewd and lascivious exhibition on a child under 16 years, defendant over 18, a second-degree felony, punishable by up to 15 years state prison. And contributing to the dependency of a child, a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable by up to 1 year in jail. And then count 6 is interference with custody, a third-degree felony, punishable by up to 5 years state prison. The state has now filed an amended information today, charging you with the following: aggravated child abuse, great bodily harm, a first-degree felony, punishable by up to 30 years state prison. Count 2.
You see how they upgraded the charges? They upgraded. Good goodness gracious.
Aggravated child abuse, great bodily harm, a first-degree felony, punishable by up to 30 years state prison, and contributing to the delinquency, dependency.
Now, I must stop for 1 second to remind you that remember when he did this video?
Assault charges have been dropped. Let's start it off with this conversation right here. Again, I won't be talking about the case specifically for all the right reasons. I have legal counsel. They're going to do what they got to do. What we are going to talk about is cyber defamation litigation.
Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? He said the charges was dropped and he's going to sue everybody. Press 7 if y'all remember that. Anybody with me? Y'all remember that? He's going to sue everybody. You know what I mean? Yeah. Y'all with me? That's what he said. That's what he said. Now, let's get back to the judge.
A child, a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable by up to 1 year in jail. It is my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to this new information. You would be adjudicated guilty, and your sentence has been memorialized in a 4-page plea agreement. Did you have the opportunity to go over this plea agreement with your lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. I do need the defendant to initial each page because there are not initials on these pages. All right. Let me know when it's done.
That hurts.
Yes, sir. Now, it is my understanding, Mr. Noak, that you have gone over this plea agreement with your lawyer, and I want to go over it with you, not each and every aspect of it, but the major components of the plea agreement. But what I am going to ask is for the state to tell me the general terms of the plea agreement, and then we will go into the details on the contract. Go ahead.
Your Honor, the plea agreement includes an adjudication, 7 years of state prison followed by 10 years of reporting probation. As a condition of probation, the defendant
will... Would you say 10 years probation?
10 years reporting probation. Okay. The defendant will complete the MDSO program. The defendant will not be allowed to have unsupervised contact with children. The defendant will have specific terms regarding where he may work and the ability to wear a uniform. There are additional terms of restitution, of which $5,000 has been agreed to be paid upfront within 24 hours mailed to the to the victim, and additional restitution to be paid out on a monthly basis once he is out of custody. And that monthly amount is highlighted in the written terms of the plea agreement. Additionally, there will be a stay-away order from victim TS and her mother, which is also mentioned in the plea agreement.
What is the total amount of the restitution?
The total amount of restitution is $25,000.
Okay. All right.
Your Honor, is the defendant's counsel going to be providing probation with the proof of the $5,000 being paid?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Okay, so Mr. Noak, the terms of the plea agreement are as what the prosecutor just stated, that you are going to be entering a plea of guilty to the 2 counts of aggravated child abuse and 1 count of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. You will be adjudicated guilty, which is a criminal conviction on your record. Do you also understand, sir, that by entering into this plea that it may subject you to involuntary civil commitment proceedings set forth in Florida statutes 394.910 through 394.931. Do you understand everything that I've said thus far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to also advise you, sir, that you are going to be sentenced to 7 years in state prison to be followed by 10 years of reporting probation. In addition to any of these special conditions of probation, you will also participate in and successfully complete a mentally disordered sex offender treatment program. That you are also not eligible. Okay, you may, according to the state, you may be eligible for early termination if all of the conditions of your probation have been completed, that you have had no violations of your probation, and that you have not been arrested for any other criminal offense. Is that correct, State?
And to clarify, the terms stated in 5 is there is no prohibition on early termination. However, there is a requirement that any modification to this agreement be agreed by the state and the court.
Okay. All right, sir. Now, with respect to this plea agreement, I have on each page, next to defendant's initials, MN. Did you, in fact, affix those initials to each page?
I did.
And have you reviewed each and every component of this plea agreement going through page 1 and through page 4?
I have.
Now, it says on page 4, having read the above-mentioned terms of this plea agreement and having been advised by my counsel David Terrace, I, Michael Noak, freely and voluntarily enter into this plea agreement and agree to abide by all terms and conditions of this plea agreement and agree that failure to comply with any terms or conditions within this agreement constitutes a violation of probation and subjects me to be sentenced to the statutory maximum penalties provided by law for the crimes for which I am now pleading guilty. And then it has a signature over the name Michael Noak. Is that in fact your signature, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I am now going to place my signature on this plea agreement in that I am now going to be ratifying this plea agreement as negotiated between the state of Florida and your attorney. Has anybody, including your lawyer, told you anything differently than what I've just told you?
No.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication affecting your ability to understand me?
No.
Is anybody forcing, threatening, or coercing you to enter into this plea?
No.
Do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, the entry of this plea will have negative immigration consequences, including deportation and removal?
I understand.
The thing I wanted to point out is that the judge says if you are not a United States citizen, I told y'all he was from Nigeria. Normally, because I don't know about Florida, but maybe that could be customary with Florida because you have so many brothers coming from Cuba or whatever. But I try to tell people that he's from Nigeria. You understand what I'm saying? I have the receipts that pretty much can put him in Nigeria. I have the receipts. I had uploaded the video to share it with everybody, and then it got struck down. You know, but it's kind of ironic that the judge would actually point out the immigration concept in a trial where everybody thinks that he's an everyday American citizen, quote unquote, black man.
Place my signature on this plea agreement in that I am now going to be ratifying this plea agreement as negotiated between the state of Florida and your attorney. Has anybody, including your lawyer, told you anything differently than what I've just told you?
No.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication affecting your ability to understand me?
No.
Is anybody forcing, threatening, or coercing you to enter into this plea?
No.
Do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, the entry of this plea will have negative immigration consequences, including deportation and removal?
I understand.
You had the right, sir, to have gone to a jury trial where your lawyer had the ability to compel the attendance of witnesses on your behalf, the ability to confront and cross-examine the witnesses and evidence against you. You had the right to testify just like any other witness or remain silent, and your silence could not have been used against you if you went to a jury trial. You also had the right to appeal any mistakes that I would have made during the course of the trial, and the right to hold the state of Florida to the burden of proving these charges beyond a reasonable doubt.
Let me pause for a second. Somebody in the chat say, why is he being deported? Well, once you commit a crime in the United States, first you have to serve your time. And then towards the end of your time, when it goes with your release, when you're ready to be released, I forget what they call it. Your pre-release home plan. That's what I think it might. I don't know what it's called in Florida, but I know in Maryland you got to come up with a home plan and the pre-release plan. And when you come up with your pre-release and your home plan, that's when, if you are not a citizen of the United States, immigration might step in. You know, so that doesn't happen until after you are scheduled for release. But right now, he got to just do the time.
Do you understand any other witness or remain silent? And your silence could not have been used against you if you went to a jury trial. You also had the right to appeal any mistakes that I would have made during the course of the trial, and the right to hold the state of Florida to the burden of proving these charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand, sir, that by entering into this plea, that you are giving up all of these rights, and we will not have a jury trial?
I do.
Have you discussed this plea with your lawyer?
Yes.
Has he answered all of your questions?
Absolutely.
Are you satisfied with your lawyer's services and advice?
Definitely.
Did the state provide all the discovery in your possession to the defense?
Yes.
Did the defense review all of the discovery in your possession with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do both sides know of any physical evidence containing DNA that would exonerate the defendant?
No.
No, Your Honor.
And do both sides stipulate to a factual basis for this plea?
Yes.
That's stipulated.
And
Yeah, we understand that the judge said if, but the point that I'm making is that when we get in trouble, very rarely, I haven't never heard the judge tell the average brother about citizenship. I haven't heard, and I'm going to go back and look at some of these cases and see if Florida, if that's a standard practice. But normally, on your paperwork, you are identified as a naturalized citizen, United States citizen when you get locked up. So something is missing. But I already know what it is, but time will tell.
court has reviewed the arrest affidavit, makes a finding that there is a factual basis for the plea. Mr. Noak, are there any witnesses or is there any evidence that you wanted your lawyer to investigate or me to receive before entering into this plea?
No.
All right. The court finds that the defendant understands the nature of the charges against him and the consequences of this plea, that he has been represented by competent and effective assistance of counsel with whom he says he is satisfied. I find the defendant has knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waived his rights. All statutory fines, court costs, and surcharges will be assessed. Counsel, do you waive PSI?
Yes, Your Honor. Waive PSI.
All right. Now, Mr. Noak, you do understand, as I mentioned to you before, that the state, as they had articulated earlier, you may be eligible for early termination as long as certain conditions are met. That means no violations. You've done everything that you were supposed to do. You've not been arrested for any criminal offense, and the state is in agreement with it as well as the court's ratification. On the other hand, sir, if you violate any terms and conditions of this probation, and that includes getting arrested for any other criminal offense, that you could be subject to the maximum period of time in prison, which by my calculations is 61 years state prison. You do understand that?
Yeah.
And knowing all of this, do you still wish to enter into this plea?
Yes.
All right.
Polight cannot even see his own children without supervision. And if he get a scratch on the law, 61 years.
The court finds the defendant, as I mentioned before, understands the nature of the charges against him and the consequences of this plea, that he has been represented by competent and effective assistance of counsel with whom he says he is satisfied. I find the defendant has knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waived his rights. All statutory fines, court costs, and surcharges will be assessed. Is there anything further as it relates to Mr. Noak? I do have on the Zoom that the victim's mother wanted to address the court.
Correct. And Your Honor, nothing more from the state except to let Your Honor know if you can unmute the victim's mother, and she will be listed as victim Noak in the Zoom, and she's requesting, pursuant to Marcy's law, that her identity remain anonymous. So for
Now, do you hear that? It says that the victim requests that her identity remains anonymous. But today, Saneter goes live and says, Saneter speaks out on Polight. We hope you listening, Linda. You see this? You see this? And hold up, family. Hold up. This is the creepy weird stuff that people like to do. This is what they like to do. Give me 1 second, family. I want to show you something, how these people play these games all the way through and to the end. You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. This is how these people play these games through and through to the end. Now, if she says she didn't want to be identified, right? And he goes and say, I hope you're listening, Linda. And he went live twice today and did that. You know what I mean? But now, I want to show you that these people are nowhere near to be trusted. You know what I mean? Because even at this level, right? Watch this. Watch this. Even at this level, he was there. 1 second. Give me 1 second. He was there. Saneter was inside listening to the case. Why would he go live today and blatantly say, Saneter respond to the case, and our heart goes out to Linda? You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? These people ain't right. They ain't right. All the way to the bitter end. All the way to the bitter end. All the way to the bitter end, they want to put this lady out there. All the way to the bitter end. What in the world is somebody got the business on Saneter TV for after all this? But guess what? There's going to be people on Saneter TV. There's going to be people saying it's not Saneter's fault. There's going to be people that's trying to justify silly, goofy stuff as Saneter prop up the next predator, as he prop up the next swindler. I keep telling people over and over and over that Saneter is the gateway. He has been the gateway for many, many people. Anybody ever think why did all these names that help build Saneter TV ultimately just disappear? Good brothers like Sankofa, Shaka Atmos. Now, you know Shaka Atmos came at the Moors many times. I met Shaka. I know Shaka. Met him at an event. Shaka cool with me. I have no beef with Shaka at all. Shaka Atmos. And we can go on and on and on and on and just name people nonstop that have walked away from this guy. But yet, you will still have people endorsing and supporting this guy as he helped create the next swindler or the next pedophile. Everyone that has rode the Saneter train, they either walked away or they end up in prison or even worse. You hear what I said? Every person that gained some sort of prominence within what they known as what we would call the conscious community, they either went to prison or they walked away, or even worse. Every one of them. The only one that I see sticking around that has not taken a hard hit is Unc. Maybe he putting the Baltimore Magic on him. I don't know. maybe he putting the Muggsy Bowl on him or something. You know what I mean? He dodging the hit. That's the only one I know is Unc. Unc's still sticking in. Pause. That's the only one I know. Unc is the only one. Maybe he putting that Park Heights. I don't know. He ain't double driven, man. But Unc better get away too, because there's a pattern that we see that's going on. You know what I mean? Now, with that being said, family, listen. At the end of the day, we're going to play the sister as we walk out the door tonight. And we're going to prepare for our brother and a few other people to come on the platform tomorrow night. Our brother Bashir, we're going to be here. I'm going to reach out and get a response in reaction from our sister Uma York. Shout out to Uma York. If y'all don't know anything about Sister Uma York, she came on the platform and she explained how they took advantage of her father's property in Brooklyn, how Polight showed up, how Polight even tried to take her life. So tomorrow night, family, we definitely got Big Brother Bashir in the building. He's going to give us behind the scenes. We're going to be talking about I don't want to give it all up. Bashir taking over the show tomorrow. Let me just say that. Bashir had conversations on 125th. He's been on the couch. You understand? See, listen, family. Hold up. I want to make sure you understand what we're going to be getting into tomorrow with this conversation. You follow me? I want to be sure that you understand what we're getting into tomorrow with this conversation. Brother Bashir has been one who had to walk away from the madness because they wasn't really about what they were talking about. So tomorrow, we're going to have an inside look at this weird thing that they still trying to push called the conscious community. There is no such thing. There is no such thing as the conscious community. There is no such thing. I mean, let's call it what it is. It's the conscious community, but it's a horse and pony show. It's a scam. It's a joke. And when we talk about the conscious community, we should talk about it as it really is. You feel what I'm saying? We should talk about it as it really is. It's a sham. None of these people are conscious. Saneter screamed black power and then called the police, called the feds. None of these people are conscious. These people sit around and watch somebody defend the pedophile, defend the child molester, keep putting the child molester on, but they still stick around. There's nothing conscious about that. There's no way in the world that once I found out Polight was not right, that was it. That was it for me. Once I didn't have to hear it 5 times. Once I found out he wasn't right, that was it. That's it. I don't need to debate it in my mind. I didn't have to do any of that. That was it for me. Let me share something with you real quick. Maybe I can do this real quick.
Yeah.
Let me do this real
But
quick.
as long as I'm not a documented predator, I'm good money.
So this is...
As long as I'm not a documented predator, you can throw up all the smoke screens you want to throw.
So when they put that lie out about me, saying that I'm a documented sex offender, which was a blatant, flat out, made up story. People still talk about that stuff to this day as if it's true. Put out by Tariq Nasheed. But now watch this guy, Tariq Nasheed, sit up here and try to defend Polight.
Not the chat room, but I posted a picture of me and Polight, and looks like the same, like 5 trolls with like multiple accounts and just trolling the same bullshit over and over again. Talking about Polight is a scammer and all this stuff. Look, Polight has showed me respect. Polight has showed me love. He hasn't scammed me. He dropped some real good game in the film, and I said this: if any other people that's in that comment section, because it's only in that comment section, and again, I know niggas are trolling, so, but I said this: all these people, it's like 1,000-something comments. If y'all think that Polight is a scam,
listen to this, fam.
He's not a good look for the film, go to the Indiegogo page. You get that crowdfunding up to 70,000. Right now it's at 48,000. If you get it up to 70,000 by tomorrow, I won't put him in.
He told his followers that if they can get the crowdfunding up to 70,000, he will not put Polight in the movie. Did y'all hear that? Somebody said turn it up. I don't want to turn it up too much. They're going to try to get me. Y'all hear that?
Let me know you serious. All right? That's the deal. If you got a problem with him being in there, go get that crowdfunding up to 70,000. Go put your money where your mouth is.
If you want Polight in the movie, get the crowdfunding up to 70,000. That's what Tariq told his followers. And people mad because I did 150 videos on Tariq. The reason why I'm going to do 150 more on Tariq Nasheed when I find the time is because this could turn out to something even crazier than this. When you understand who Tariq Nasheed really is, this could turn out just as bad, but just in a different way. Many people don't want to believe it. These people are not who they say they are. Bottom line, they are not who they say they are. They're not who they say they are. And I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove it.
There's over 1,000 people making comments in there. All those people put $20. If you're so passionate, you got all that talking about who shouldn't be in the film and all this, go get that crowdfunding up to $70,000.
He telling his people are telling him, listen, we don't want Polight in the video. He's a child predator. He tells his people, if you don't want him in the video, I need you to donate so we can get $70,000. Press 7 if you just heard me. This is what Tariq Nasheed said about putting Polight in the video. Please press 7 if you heard me. We have 760 people in this chat. We only got 278 thumbs up. I would ask that you press 7. I just need you to acknowledge these scammers. They are the same people, family. They are no different. They are the same people. There is no getting around it. There is no getting around it. They are the same exact people. They're just scamming a different product. That's it. They're scamming hope. The whole product that they scam is hope, but it's cloaked in we need more this built by us, or we are the greatest people on earth, or the white man and the white supremacists, they're going to kill us, or we need more money by investing in this. It's the same scam, just a different product. That's it. This fool Tariq go from selling deodorant to making a video about who created rap, but won't even tell you how he get the name Tariq Nasheed. He won't even explain how he went from Marcus Thomas to Marcus Sanders to Tariq Nasheed. And you mad at me because I do 100 videos? You should be glad I'm doing 100 videos. You should have got those that been around him that haven't called him out earlier. These are the same people. They are the same people. There is no difference between Tariq Nasheed and Brother Polight. There is no difference. The manipulation and what they take from people might be different, but the principle and the essence of what they're doing is the same thing. There is no different from Saneter or Polight. It's just Polight went a little bit over beyond what they did, and it was caught in the public. Some of their things are not caught in the public. Like some of these massage parlors that we'll be talking about that these people used to own. That's right. That's right. Some of this trafficking that we suspect that had went on. That's right. That's right. Them people that you looking at on the screen is the same people. We got the goods. We're going to talk about these massage parlors. That's right. We're going to talk about this trafficking. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You want to swing on the God? You little swindling fraud. We're going to talk about all of this. We're going to talk about all of this. And we come with receipts. We come with receipts. So it's not slander. It's not defamation. It's all receipts. It's all receipts. That's right. You're going to have to talk to the receipts. Because this is insane that people going to get mad at me because I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to put you on point. Listen to this. Who does this, man? Who does this?
Crowdfunding up to $70,000. Go put your money where your mouth is. There's over 1,000 people making comments in there. All those people put $20. If you're so passionate, you got all that talking about who shouldn't be in the film and all this, go get that crowdfunding up to $70,000.
Listen, I said we're going to talk about trafficking. I ain't say no names yet. Just wait till the receipts come. I ain't say no names yet. Somebody block BWE. Block him. Let me do it. I got my hand on the trigger. Let me block BWE. Yeah, let me block him. This goofy fool said how I'm helping. I'm taking 3 hours from my family to share this information with those who could have fell victim for this. That's how I'm helping.
By tomorrow, we won't have them in, and that's the deal. So you don't have to complain over and over again. I'm in the action business. If you got a problem, if you think somebody's scamming, if that's what it is, then put your money on it to show that, hey, this is what we don't want. So you can, I'm giving the power to you.
Not charged. Then what was the original charges where he got the two $10,000 and then $1,000?
So the original charges was count 1 was engaging in sexual activity with a child in familiar custodial authority. That was actually a PBL, but that charge, when it's input into the arrest form, it looks like an F1. So on that count, he was given $10,000. Then on count 2, it's sexual battery of a victim 12 to 17 years of age. That's an F1. That was another $10,000 bond. And then count 3 is count 5 on the information.
Even if they kill women and children. Classicus. And how did this classicus music sound? I've been waiting to do some Hollywood shit for a long time. Which is shoe, which is Greek for hell. So when a child says I'm going to school, they saying I'm going to hell. But that's not enough. I'm like, yo, that was deep, but you, come on. Carry the one, nigga. I'm waiting. Carry the one. That's what I came here for. Carry the one. I ain't have time for this etymology stuff. If our relationship structure isn't right, we'll have arguments, our wife will cheat on us, the man will cheat on the wife, and this causes depression, and this causes you to lower your ether. This causes you to be frustrated, this causes you to be angry. You understand? Now, why is this important or significant? When you get angry, you actually get hotter. The brain rests on 52 ounces of water. Pardon. What does student mean? If you go into the word student etymologically, the word student means to stick, stab, or prick. Write it down. Student means to stick, stab, or prick. Now you can see why you're going to school, and now you can see why you're going to hell, because you're a student. You sticking, stabbing, and pricking people. Not enough. Let's go to class. The highest rank of the Romans when they go to war. Class. The highest rank of the Romans when they go to war. Class.
I got people saying that they're doing interviews with me. And it's a goddamn lie. I'm not doing interviews speaking about none of that goofy stuff. You couldn't pay me to speak about it. I ain't showing my hand. Just watching people jump out the I ain't showing my hand, and I was watching people jump out the window. That's how we doing this. Yeah, man, why you messing up? Hold on, let me make this call.
Good? Yo, man, thanks for putting that in my pocket, fam. I know you don't like people seeing that shit. Good looking, fam. I love you, brother. Word, man. Yo, man, thanks for putting that in my pocket, fam. Yo, man, thanks for putting that in my pocket, fam. I know you don't like people seeing that shit. Good looking, fam. I love you, brother. Word, man. I ain't gonna never forget this shit. Let me get this shit out of here. Y'all see this? This is what I'm talking about. Now, the week that this took place, we got Saneter out there with the videos. You know what I mean? We got all that. And we'll be talking about that soon, too. You know what I mean? We see this is what I'm telling you, that all of this stuff is a corroborated effort. I'm a butcher that demonstration. That might help me out. Anyway, this is all the same stuff. And that was one time that Polight give him money. And this is the other time. I got all the videos, all the receipts. There you go. I got all the receipts of Polight, Saneter defending Polight. I got everything. He tried to remove the videos, but listen, even when I'm not talking about Saneter, I got all the receipts. Oh yeah, yes sir. I got every single one of them. I got every single one of them. He thought he was removing them, but soon as they go up, hold up. Soon as they go up, I bring them down. That's right. I got all the receipts. Every receipt where he tried to defend them. Every receipt where he act like as if it wasn't that serious. Like even this one here, where the lady didn't want to put her name out, the mother didn't want to put her name up, and he did 2 videos today showing her name. Understand what I'm saying? He did 2 videos today showing her name. You follow what I'm saying? So family, we want to dedicate this show to this brother right here. Anybody remember this brother right here? He passed away being robbed of his inheritance by brother Polight. So we dedicate this show to the victim, to the family, and to this brother here. Anybody remember him? He passed away without getting justice. I seen he tried his best to pursue the charges. I have the paperwork. I have everything. He was a genuine, kind soul, taken advantage of to the extreme level. He was a genuine, kind soul. Wouldn't hurt nobody. Wasn't trying to hurt nobody. Wasn't trying to swindle nobody, and got robbed for his inheritance. And it was sad to hear how Polight used him, took advantage of his kindness, and took all of his inheritance. So I want to dedicate this to Crypto Roots. That's good brother right there. May he rest in peace, and may his family be doing well with the baby, on and on and on. So family, as we walk out here, because I got to get ready for tomorrow night, as we walk out here, I would be remiss if I did not allow this to play one more time. It got to play one more time. You understand what I'm saying? We got to play it. Family, thank you for joining me. Don't forget the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Please listen close, and I'm going to listen to it, and I may stop it a few times because I played it in the beginning straight through, but I want to examine a few parts of it, but let's go.
All right, you may unmute, ma'am.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. All right, so what I'd like you to do is, well, you don't want to give your name, so at this point, just go ahead and you can give us an impact statement. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Michael Noak. This is the first time I have spoken publicly about what you've done to my daughter and I. I have gracefully remained silent the last 2.5 years. 2.5 years of pain, shock, disbelief, PTSD, constant nightmares, and daily triggers. Trying to help my daughter heal when I'm not even healed myself. What you have done to my daughter, myself, and my entire family is inexcusable. You hurt us all. You made me believe that you were such a great man and you could do no wrong. You made me fully trust you, and for that my daughter trusted you too. But the truth is, you're a monster. a demon. The very first time that I allowed you to be alone with my daughter, the very first time, and you couldn't even help yourself. You told me you was gonna be right back. You were going downstairs. You were gonna grab food and take vacation pictures. You told me that you wanted to have a one-on-one talk with her about loving and respecting me as a great mother that I was and am. And I actually believed you. I believed that you were going to bring her right back. I thought you were going to have this trusting conversation with her that you promised me. Her and I both trusted you. For a grown man to violate a child who trusted him, you should be ashamed of yourself. You plotted on me and my little girl. The entire time you knew what you planned to do. Isolate, intoxicate, then violate my baby. Shame on you. I trusted you to bring her right back. You were supposed to bring her back the same way that you took her. Instead, you drugged her and took advantage of her. And you sexually abused her. You forced alcohol down her throat. You then forced her to see things that no child should ever have to see. You forced her to feel things that no child should have to feel. You forced her to accept violence that no child should ever have to endure. You forced drugs in her that no human should ever even ingest. She's my child. My baby. How could you? How could you? You could have killed her with all the drugs that were found in her system. And you thought your master plan was mapped out perfectly, huh? You thought I'd be dumb enough to believe you over my child. And you thought that money would blind me. You thought I was going to be so blinded that I wouldn't notice when you returned her with bruises all over her body and her mouth busted, uncontrollably shaking. Absolutely not. And although you executed your plan and you got what you wanted those couple of hours, you actually failed. Because look where you're at right now. You have created a lifetime of trauma for my daughter and I. Before you, we never knew evil existed. You brought so much evil into our lives that early morning, and I'll never forget. I called you like 50 times and you wouldn't answer me. And I called her too, but you took her phone. You drugged my baby and you gave her no way to seek help. You left me no way to contact her or even know where she was. I get physically sick now whenever I'm away from my daughter because of you. Something as simple as her going to school, I'm in panic mode. Because I'm scared when she comes back, she's going to be hurt all over again. I constantly have flashbacks of that night. And what she lives with is not okay. She feels uncomfortable around people and will live with this forever, and this is not fair to her. She never deserved this. Shame on you for forcing evil on our youth. And you know, for a year, I questioned, how could you even do this to us? Her and I did nothing wrong to you. We trusted you. I moved across the country because I believed everything that you told me. But it was pure manipulation I see now. All you do is specialize in selling false dreams. How could you do this to an innocent child and mother who simply trusted you? We did nothing wrong. But you know what? I'm done breaking my head trying to question or figure out how you could do such a thing. It's so simple to me now. You're just a sick man. A man you can have a plethora of women, but you secretly prefer to have a child. And it's so clear now. I will never be able to fully trust another person due to the betrayal that you've shown me. And for that, I was not willing to trust 6 strangers and go to trial. Nor was I going to put my daughter through an additional trauma. This plea was in our best interest. You and I both know the evidence is extremely substantial. But even with that, I refuse to have my child be tormented when she's done nothing wrong. All she holds is the truth. And I will say this, Although you were so worried about being labeled a sex offender, you did us a huge favor by admitting to guilt, period. So for that, I thank you. I truly thank you. Yes, mitigation took place and I allowed it as long as it meant you going to prison and you getting true help. Because true help means no more victims. The fact that your only non-negotiable was to accept a sex crime shows exactly the type of man that you are. You know what you did in that hotel room. I know what you did, and my daughter knows what you did. DNA doesn't lie. There's no reason why your DNA should have been found on my baby. And yes, I satisfied your bogus request to not be labeled a sex offender, but it doesn't take away from who you truly are. I wasn't going to waste any time going back and forth with you over a label. God will judge you for exactly the person He knows you to be. A sexual predator. So rest assured, jail time equals jail time. And I pray that during your 10 years of sex offender probation, you actually receive the treatment that you need and it helps heal your sick mind and get the thoughts of being with children out of it. All you care about is your pretend image, but I know exactly who you are now. You want to be this public figure, but you want to do all your evil acts in secret. You're so self-centered. That's why the last time I saw you on February 27, 2021, you fought me. You tried to hold me hostage from taking my daughter to the hospital. I'll never forget that cowardly look in your eyes. I'll never forget it. You were so scared. You were so scared because you realized you messed with the wrong one. Your last words to me, you held me and said, please don't go. You're gonna ruin my career. Well, today, September 6th, 2023, my last words to you are, I hope the next 17 years of your life, you're reminded of the disgusting, terrifying, unforgettable acts that you've done to my innocent daughter. Shame on you. And although you've caused a tremendous amount of trauma for myself and my daughter, we will and will always be superior of you because a successful, honest career is something that you could never, ever have. We will both continue to stand against violence. My daughter will continue to persevere and be bright and intelligent and courageous young woman that she is. So Michael Noak, I hope you enjoy prison and God bless you.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your courage for speaking. It is heartbreaking and my heart goes out to you and your daughter.
Check 1, 2.
All right, the defendant will be remanded to the Department of Corrections.
It's time for us to go hard. It's time to expose the fraud. It's time for us to go hard. It's time to expose the fraud. It's time for us to go hard. It's time to expose the fraud. It's time for us to go hard. It's time to expose the fraud. It's time for us to go hard. First of all, let me welcome y'all to Moore's World TV. Come on, it's time to go. Ain't nobody gonna deceive me. Deceive who? Deceive you. Never on my watch. Time to go pull out the pot, turn up the heat. Let's make it hot. Don't be tripping on them frauds when you're rolling with the guard. Nate Crip, Sonny, Boxing, Apple X, and Sean, Yasmin, and the Queen got Sean from the Shy, Candy Chamber, Ishmael Bay, and Sinsoon. Anybody they can get it if they gripping on the fam. Moore's World TV, investigating all scams. Gon' check my record and please don't front. Come on, keep it a buck. I ain't been wrong once. From Saneter and Polight and Tatar Street, Bay, Malik, Zulu, Shabazz, and Grandmaster J. Word to God to all the frauds. I brought them to their knees, but they ain't nothing. Watch how I do to Tariq Law Nasheed. Welcome to another edition of Moore's World TV. I'm your host, Brother Tahaka Bay. Let's get on these frauds' neck and let's shut them down. Let's go. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. That's right, let everybody know what's going down. Moore's World TV, we gon' shut it down. Share this to at least 2 platforms. Thumbs up, the show starts now. Let's get